For our midweek devotion this week, instead of a devotion, I'm going to do a little instructional video on what you will experience when you come on Sunday. And so we're standing at the front door as if you've just come out of your car. So come on into church with me and I'll show you what's going to happen on Sunday. And some of the things that we've changed and some of the things will remain the same. For example, you'll notice a lot of signage around the church. As you've seen all over the community, wherever you go, you see things like this. 6 feet apart, social distancing. This will help, I hope, to help you feel a little more comfortable about coming as well. We're taking this serious here also. And so as you come into the building, you'll notice this right off the bat. 6 feet of separation for social distancing. And then you'll see it, hand washing signs around the bathrooms and various places as well. Just simple reminders of preventative measures to help keep you healthy. And so as we come on in, Brian and Shannon are helping tonight, and Brian has offered to be he was volunteered to be our deacon, our usher. You notice the masks. On Sunday, they'll also have gloves on. The gloves aren't in yet, but they will be. And they will have masks and gloves to be able to hand each individual a bulletin for Sunday. And so they won't be sitting out like they used to be on a table somewhere where you could just grab one yourself. Someone will actually have to hand it to you, or one for each of your family members, however, as a family you want to do that. But make sure you grab one. And then this is one of the more confusing parts of the day because it is so different than what we're used to. First of all, we have masks, and we'll have a lot more available on Sunday morning. They're not required, but they are encouraged. And so if you want a mask, bring your own if you have it. If you don't have one, we will have plenty here for you to have one of ours here on Sunday. They're disposable. Take it home. But they will be on a table here as well. These are the communion cups, and it's all contained in one package. The top layer is the wafer, and so when we do communion during this service, we'll do the part like we normally do with the bread. You'll take the wafer out and be able to eat that, and then the second layer is the juice. And you can open it. They say it's safe from spilling, but open it carefully just in case. And there's your juice. And we'll do the same thing within the service. It's good. The same, but that's the only tricky part. The top layer is the wafer. The next layer is the access to the juice. And these will be set out pretty much at this table right here. And we've spaced them out so that you can grab one without worrying about who else might have touched them. Each family member can grab one, or if the mom or dad wants to be the one to get one for the whole family, for each member of the family, that's fine as well. But we'll space them out on the table, and one of the ushers will be here to make sure that we replenish so that everybody will be able to have them. We have plenty, and we'll keep them spaced out like that. One of the things that we've talked about as officers as well is it's a wonderful thing on a normal Sunday to see everybody out here in the narthex greeting one another, hugging one another, talking to one another. And unfortunately, we're going to have to try to limit that a little bit in order to keep the social distancing recommendations. And so we're asking you as you come in, just the doors will be open at 10 a.m. It will be propped open, or an elder or a deacon will be standing at the door to greet you as we just came in. Then we ask you just make your way into the sanctuary. All of the 3 entrances will be open, propped open. Just go in where you would normally go in and find your seat. And then as you do, you'll notice one of the changes that we've made in the sanctuary. In order to maintain the social distancing, we've placed these red signs in every other pew. And you'll notice it goes all the way down the pew. This whole pew, we're asking, please do not sit here. And we've done it every other pew so that you basically, from one pew, skipping a pew to the next, you have 6 feet of separation. And so you'll be able to stand and worship and sing and participate as you normally would with that separation. I know what that means is we probably have taken away someone's pew. In fact, I think this is the Lippert's pew. I'm sorry, Marty. I think we took away your pew. But there's other spaces. You'll be okay. And so we've done that in all 4 sections. We've taken away every other pew, and a sanctuary our size has plenty of space for us. The one tricky part is in the back here, these pews are so long that you may wonder, well, how do you maintain the social distance here? You have a family here, a couple people here, there's a whole pew. We thought about various options, but it just seemed like it would be too confusing with all different kinds of signs or tape or different things. And so what we're asking is, you know what 6 feet is. So as you come into the pew, just make sure you're 6 feet apart from the other family that's sitting in the pew. And that's easy to do with these long pews from the 2 sides. It's as we start to fill maybe into the middle, you may wonder, is there room or not? And you may need to find another spot. We'll have ushers that will help you with seating if you need it. I don't think we will. I think there's plenty of space. But these long pews do make it a little bit more difficult with two families easy. If we put a third family in there, it may get a little crowded within the 6 feet of separation that we're trying to maintain. Otherwise, within the worship service, the changes, we will not pass an offering plate. We don't want people grabbing and passing to the next person and them grabbing and a lot of touching of the offering plate. So instead, as you leave the sanctuary, one of the ushers will be here with his mask and gloves on, holding the offering plate, and you can give your offering that way. Or you can continue to do it through Venmo or mailing it into the church office, however you have been doing it lately. But they will stand at the door with an offering plate so you don't have to touch it or touch what other people have touched. And that goes the same, obviously, what we're doing with the communion plates. We won't be passing that. But I will explain that all again during the service when we celebrate the Lord's Supper at the end of the service. The other change within the worship service is clearly we won't have the greeting time where we'll take that time to stand and hug each other, shake hands. We won't be able to do that for a little while. We don't have a date yet when we'll start reintroducing that yet. We'll discuss that more, and when we know that we're safely past this virus threat, we'll get back to normal, whatever that may look like. But for now, we won't have our greeting time, but we are going to have, Jeanette is still going to be playing an offertory piece, though we don't have an offertory time. We will still have some special music, part of the worship service. Much of it is going to be very similar to what we have enjoyed and what we have missed. So that pretty much is all that you will need to know as you come to worship on Sunday. I can't wait. I can't wait to have everybody come back again. I know there's been a lot of funny videos passed around of pastors and their excitement, and I am just giddy waiting for everybody to come back. But on the same hand, I recognize that some of you shouldn't come yet. Some of you are vulnerable to respiratory illnesses, and you need to stay home. And we will still offer our worship services online like we've been doing. I will record the sermon portion of the worship service Saturday night and post it so that it's up and ready to go on Sunday morning at 7 a.m. like we've been doing. But we're also going to be able to have a live broadcast of the worship service at 10:30, also on our YouTube channel. So if you feel like you have symptoms of any kind, you wake up in the morning, you were excited to come to worship, but you feel like you have a scratchy throat and a cough, maybe even feel a slight fever, don't come. Any symptoms at all, please show your love for your neighbor by not coming on that Sunday. And again, if you do have any vulnerabilities to respiratory illness, stay home until we know for sure that we're past this threat of the virus. We're getting close. It does seem as though we are getting close in this area in Johnson County, but not yet. And if there's any questions that you have, don't hesitate also to call my cell number or call the church office. Cell number is the best way to get a hold of me today. Or the email, of course, is always available as well. Any questions over what I've done, please don't hesitate to send a message. And if we haven't thought of it, we may need to have your question to make us think about it. So don't hesitate. I look forward to Sunday morning And I hope you do as well. Our call to worship is going to be, I was glad when they said, let us go to the house of the Lord. And it's just thrills my heart that we can finally come together for corporate worship. So come if you're able. Come with hearts filled with thanksgiving as we worship our God together.